Good morning, everyone. My name is Kylie Harding. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the State of the Village 2025. We're so excited to be able to present this program to you on behalf of the Westmont Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau and the Village of Westmont. Just wanted to let you guys know that you're going to be finding out a lot of information today. If you want to take notes, that's completely fine. Afterwards, all of our presenters will be here, so if you want to speak to anyone or get more information directly, please feel free to stay afterwards and talk to the folks that are presenting today. So the Chamber of Commerce, as you guys know, is dedicated to fostering the business connections in town. And one of the things that we do is help to develop the business growth for our members. So whenever you join the chamber, one of the first things we do is find out who it is that you want to get in touch with and how do we get you in touch with those members or the people in the village. We help jumpstart new businesses, and I'll tell you a little bit more about how we do that in a minute. And then we also are great at connecting new business to existing customers, existing customers to new business. We like to keep businesses informed about local economic development and opportunities, and we do that through our newsletters and our social media, as well as meeting with folks. Our chamber growth and retention has been extremely strong. We've had 37 new members this year, an 88% retention rate, and one of the methods that we do to maintain our retention is we've instituted an ambassador program for this year. And our retention rate is much higher than the industry standard, which is typically 78 to 86%. So at 88%, we're standing very strong in town. Our longevity is also huge. We've had 20% of our members that have been a member of our chamber for 20 years or longer. So we have a lot of chamber benefits, and one of the things that I wanted to mention is we have a lot of networking opportunities. There's the pie graph, and I'm just going to show you the largest restaurant, or the largest category is our restaurant members, as well as we have a lot of car dealerships, dance studios. We have a lot of members that are small businesses, less than 10% or less than 10 employees. All right, our chamber growth and retention, 37 new members for this year, as I said. We have a lot of chamber benefits, including multiple networking opportunities, business retention opportunities, marketing programs, educational programs, social media and published programs, as well as state and national chamber affiliations. We're members of both the State Chamber of Commerce as well as the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And so our members receive benefits from those as well. Westmont New Business Integration and Orientation Program, that's what I was talking about a little bit earlier. When you're a new business to town, one of the things that you are gifted with is a grant from the Village of Westmont. And what you get is a one-year membership to the chamber. And during that time, you get a couple of different benefits. You get a one-on-one membership or a one-year membership to the chamber. You get a one-on-one with me. I'll go in and talk to each new member, find out what it is that they need, who they're looking to connect with, and start making those connections on their behalf. They get to meet with key village contacts, and the way we're doing that is by doing a program called Doing Business in Westmont, which is our new business orientation program. And in that, they get to meet all of the key members of the village. So they'll be meeting with people from the police department, from the fire department, from the park district, from the library, from Westmont Special Events, and from the community development in Westmont. And they get to know all those people on the same day. They get contacts with them, and then they know who to go to when they're in need. We also will do the ribbon cuttings, we'll issue a press release, and we also will do all the social media marketing on behalf of the chamber, connecting to their social media for promotion. We also do networking and marketing constantly. So one of the things that we're starting this year is a new podcast, which is very exciting. It's going to be a podcast featuring chamber members talking about the stories behind the businesses. And finally, new members will be assigned an ambassador, And the ambassador program is brand new to the chamber. Those members will have an opportunity to have their ambassador guide them through their first year of membership. We have several of the ambassadors in the room with us today. We're really excited about this program. And if you have any questions about the new business integration or orientation program, please let me know. I'm really excited about it. It's a great thing for our chamber to have, and it's a great benefit for businesses in Westmont. And our community events, we have so many events throughout the year. Many of you have come to our events throughout the year, and we have our next big one on June 13th. That is our golf outing. So we're really excited to have that. If you are at all a golfer, or if you like to golf, even novice, you can come out and have a great time. All the holes are sponsored, so they have a really fun time with that. And we have so many events that happen seasonally. We have everything from caskets on cast to our winter ball, so that throughout the year, there's always something exciting that you can come to and network through meeting people at our business events. And with that, I'd like to welcome up the retired mayor, our new deputy mayor, Ron Gunter.
Morning. Jim's got everybody worried, I think. But again, thank you. It's been an honor to be part of the village administration for 12 years. It's been a while since we've had this program. I'm glad we started it back up. My 12 years as mayor has been a great opportunity to continue growth in this community. I'll just touch on it real quick. I think, and a lot of the items that I did when I was mayor has a lot to do with Mayor Nero's leadership, as you told me to say this. So Mayor Nero's leadership as a senior trustee all those years. You know, we were able to attack the roads, the stormwater, do the public works building, all without raising property taxes. We have a TIF at 63rd Street, our anchor Mariano's. It took off, it did what it's supposed to do. Our downtown TIF with Quincy Station as the anchor is starting to pick up more speed and momentum. We've done the TIF DIP program to assist downtown businesses for improvements. Our police and fire department are accredited. Jim will tell you about that. Our bond rating is AA+. And I do have to say that the one thing that has been good all those years is that the trustees work together. I've been around Westmont 48 plus years, and I've never seen a board, elected officials work as well as this board has. And for the past maybe year, it's been a transition period. I've worked close with Mayor Nero, Jim Gunther, Steve May, going through this whole transition to get where we are today. I'm looking forward to the improvements that continue to be made under Mayor Nero. And I do have to talk a little bit about this community is a volunteer community. You've heard me say this over and over and over. We're rare in that every organization in this town works extremely well together. They cooperate, they communicate, and that's the reason we have all our community events that you see. But it is, you look at all these different events and it's all done by our volunteers or our community groups and organizations. I don't think there's another community that works extremely well together. And that was a good indication for the village board all the years I've been involved. We get rid of the egos and we do what's necessary for this community. And again, I want to thank Mayor Nero for his leadership for all those years and looking forward to assisting him as deputy mayor. So give me an opportunity to stay involved. One person I'd like to thank, Steve May, if you stand up. He's on the home stretch now. Probably 11 years ago, we needed a manager. And I'm one who would like to hire experience and promote from within. Convinced him to become the manager. And for the past 11 years, he's done a tremendous job guiding the village. And he's also, during this transition, he's worked extremely well with, I can't call you manager yet, but, and I don't, you've got too many titles now, but Jim has been working with Steve and Spencer. The team has done extremely well moving this forward. And I want to thank him. His last day is the end of this month, and he'll get his 40 years of service in municipal government. So thank you, Steve. And again, I want to thank, this is beautiful resort hotel. Again, they're always available to host events. Please use them. Again, it's a great honor to be able to still be up here and talk to everyone today. And I guess it's this time, it's my pleasure to introduce, shall I introduce the mayor? I can't blow it, so you're here.
You can stay here for one moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know his
So
name.
I'm sorry, and I know that you weren't expecting this, but we have a very special commendation to give to you. And Steve, could you join us on stage, Steve May? All right. So the Chamber of Commerce from time to time elects to bestow a special honor upon individuals that have shown great work to the Chamber and many years of service. And these two individuals behind me are two people that have really reflected the mission and values of the Westmont Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau. And with that, I'd like to give a lifetime honorary membership to our Deputy Mayor, Ron Gunter. This is a honorary lifetime membership which bestows upon you all the accreditations of a chamber. And for Steve May, your honorary lifetime membership. Steve has been a member of our chamber board for more than a decade. So I really wanted to give both of these gentlemen the accolades that they deserve for their hard work that they've put into the lifetime of the chamber, as well as all the work that they've done on behalf of the village and the community. So with that, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate your time. So thank you. All right, now you can introduce the mayor.
But again, thank you. And at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our Mayor, Steve Nero. Mayor Nero.
Well, good morning, everybody. It is an honor to be here in front of everyone and to get this State of the Village program back fired up. We got to catch up here from Mayor Gunter. But again, it's an honor, and I'm very grateful to be here and to serve in this new capacity as a longtime board member. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to these next 4 years. But you know, outside of my village role, I just wanted to share a few personal things about me. My wife, who's traveling with her mother this week, isn't here today, but I've been married to Corinne for almost 11 years now. You might have seen me walking around town with our little Italian greyhound, Louie, and he's a piece of work. But, you know, and outside of my village role, I'm vice president for a firm called Safe Build, where we privatize community development services all over the country. And it's a unique role that I think brings a lot of relevant experience to this village. And, you know, my capacity, I manage our relationships with jurisdictions over 100,000 in population in every state in the country, from Hawaii to Maine and everybody in between, in every size city here in the Midwest. So I'm looking forward to really bringing a lot of those experiences here to the village as well. But before we get into some of our village goals for this year, I do want to, you know, kind of jump on what Mayor Gunter had shared. The work has already started. And Mayor Gunter mentioned the cohesiveness of our village board and how well we work together over the years. I work, as you heard, with communities all over the country. And there is not one village board that has a team approach like Westmont does. And to that tune, politics sometimes can't be the most enjoyable thing. Boards sometimes aren't productive together, right? There's a lot of animosity between different people on the boards. That's not Westmont. And what you see in front of you, some of our goals for this year, the work has already started. Yeah, I mean, you heard Mayor Gunter. It started a year ago. And that's something that, honest, of every city I work with, and to the tune of a couple thousand of them, It just doesn't exist. That type of relationship isn't out there. And so some of the things that I'm going to share and some of the things our upcoming manager are going to share, the work has already started. And I'm grateful for that, but I think Westmont wins because of that type of relationship. There's no transition period. We've already gotten the work, and I'm honestly, I'm grateful for it, but really the village wins. And that's something I haven't seen. And if there's a community out there that's of a similar size like Westmont, I want to meet those leaders because they're a good team too. And I'm committed to keeping that team spirit going forward as well, because this is a team sport. You know, there's a couple of our trustees. I see Trustee Plowman in the back. We're in this together. It's our community. It's not about what we think of maybe on a federal issue or state issue. It's about making our town better. It's about bringing more businesses to town. It's about providing good services, being smart with our money. And that's kind of fun to be involved with a team that really, truly cares about that. But some of my priorities, or some of the team's priorities going forward, you've heard me say it a lot, economic development is super important to this village. We're going to be putting a lot of our efforts towards that. We've done really well on the south side of town. We've done really well on Ogden Avenue, the north side where we are today. I think there's so much more that we can do in the downtown, and there's some other properties throughout the village too that we're going to focus on. You know, this one's a little bit close to me. More importantly, is community development. We're going to be really focusing on that department because we can be better. And again, that work has already started, which I'm proud of. A few weeks ago, our community development director, who's here somewhere, Joe Hennerfine, sat down with single-family home builders along with our planning and zoning commissioner, Doug Carmichael, and we asked them, what are we not good at? How do we get better? And it wasn't an hour and a half of defending ourselves. It was an hour and a half of just listening to maybe what we're not the best at or what we need to tweak to, you know, invite developers to come in here and start building. And I think that's the first step. You know, good local government leaders have to listen to the folks in the private sector to improve, and that's what we're doing. So again, there's going to be a lot of energy on that. I really do think we're going to be a lot easier to do business with. I think, and we have a couple county officials and township officials. We're going to be the best community development department, the best building department in the county, and I think that's a real good goal that's achievable for these next couple of years, so you can count on that. We will be easy to do business with. We will have a spirit of yes. How can we get there? There might be some roadblocks. We're not going to circumvent any rules or process, but to show people the process to how to get there that want to invest in this community is important to me, and I know it's important to all the village team here, so expect a lot of focus on that. And the last goal is going to be more around communication, which, you know, we tend as, and I think in a lot of governmental bodies, is to not be so much proactive. We share what we have to. And I think it goes the next step farther. And again, that has already started. We're going to be over-communicating. We're going to be, you know, not just giving the information and the facts of what's happened at the village. We're going to, you know, solicit information from you and more feedback from you. And that's again, the exciting part, I think, of this role, because there's just so much more to do. But a little bit on our economic development approach. You know, this is something, again, that's real important to me, and it ties with our community development department because, you know, if we're going to be doing a lot more efforts to bring in more developments in town, well, hey, our community development department's going to be that much more busier. So they need the resources to be able to deliver, you know, this new gold standard of service, and, you know, rolling that red carpet out, whether it's a home builder or a commercial developer that's coming to town, that's what we want to do. You know, we're going to make an investment and be proactive. We're going to select certain parcels in the village that may have been an eyesore or maybe lacked development over the years and really focus on it. It's not going to be with emotion. It's going to be with market analytics that actually tells us based on fact what would work in this potential site. And, you know, we have our Choose DuPage official here, Greg Bedloff, that's given the village these tools, all villages in the counties these tools. It's time that we leverage them and make these decisions off of actual fact on what will be successful and actually go out and recruit these businesses. So what does that mean? That means we're going to actually have to add some folks, add some resources to our staff to make this happen. And there's not many things you could do in a village organization that has an ROI. This is one of them. If we can spend a little bit to bring in some more key developments to town, well, what does that mean? It means more property tax revenue. That means more sales tax revenue. That's the sweet spot we got to get in. We have a lot of spots in town that have been identified. It's time that we go out and attack it. It's time that we go out and recruit and secure and retain businesses too, but it's time that we get some of these projects and bring them to fruition a little bit faster than what we might have been used to. And that takes some extra resources, but I know we can do it. We're going to leverage best practices, a lot from what I see in my full-time capacity, but others on the village staff too, from neighboring communities, and really throttle up and deliver a little bit more and a little bit more effort to make that a reality. So I'm really excited about it. I think there's a lot more that we could do to have a lot faster results than what we've seen, and there's still some areas that we're going to do a real good job in, and so I'm real excited about that. All those business folks here in today, if you have an idea, if there's a business that you want to bring to town, or you want to expand your business or relocate, that's what we're here for. Reach out to Kylie, reach out to me, reach out to our new manager here. That's what we're here for. Reach out to Mayor Gunter. We're all in this together. And we have a standing meeting every Thursday, and the work has started. We've had a new guest every Thursday, I think, since Mayor Gunter invited me to this economic development meeting, whether it's inland real estate or holiday properties or whoever. CBRE was last week. I mean, these are the big time players in the development industry that know we're open for business, but want to sit down. They want that extra attention. And that's what I'm committed to. I know that's what the team's committed to. That's what they're here for. Even today, we have a business owner that wants to talk after this about relocating a real cool project. And that's what it's all about, is just giving people that venue to understand what their vision is and help them get to it. And that's my commitment. It's a good idea. Let's figure out how to get there together. And I think we could do that. And we are going to do that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And again, I mentioned on this a little bit, but with lots of new developments and excitements and different types of things comes with communication. And it starts with events like this, continuing this with the consistent theme and really doing a lot more of proactive outreach. We just did it. Our fire chief's here today. We had a great community outreach meeting last week regarding our potential new fire station. And sure, the board could have just approved it and voted on it and passed it with no one really knowing much what was going on. But as a team, we decided, you know what? Let's take a step back. We did all our homework. The fire department did a great job. We had an extra meeting with the public to hear from them. Tell them all the different options. Let them know what we're thinking and how we're looking at it. And lo and behold, the feedback was great. Everybody appreciated that. They wanted to be in the know, and it's that type of engagement that I think we're going to do a lot more of, that people want to hear. Whether you're a resident, you're a business owner, that's important to them because this is their community. They've either invested here a lot or they're living here. They put their roots here, their families here, and it's up to us to do a lot more of that. So the big theme here is consistent communication, not just when we need to or when something happens, but proactive. And again, it's going to be proactive on economic development. It's going to be proactive on community events like this. It's going to be proactive on things that are changing, the good and the not so good, and that's okay. I wish it was always going to be positive, but being on the board for over 14 years, we know it's not, and that's okay too. But I do want to reiterate, if you have an idea or you have a concern, let us know. We want to hear about it. The board wants to hear about it. And that's kind of the exciting thing, I think. It's, we have a heck of a team, a heck of a staff. This is a lot of fun, and that's why I'm doing it, because it's fun, right? And there's not many things you can do out there where it's considered work, but it's still fun. I do this day in and day out working with communities. And I tell you, when I step into Village Hall or an email pops up on my phone, it's, I'm all in. And my wife will sometimes joke because, we're all laser focused on our phones these days. But I really am all in because I'm thinking about it and I'm thinking of different ways. And even over the weekend, we were here at this hotel for a wedding celebration. And my cousin was sharing what they were doing in downtown Batavia on these small little incubator businesses. And I'm texting the Mayor Gunter yesterday about it. Bob Plowman and I were talking about it, Trustee Plowman, over the weekend too. And I mean, to me, that's exciting to be able to have an idea that someone shares with you and to be able to do it. So that's my commitment is we're going to try new things. We're just going to do it. It's not going to be 100% out of the gate. And that's okay because, you know what, you have to try some certain things. And I think a lot of times in government, everybody wants it to be perfect. And right out of the chute, it's going to be, you know, lockstep and barrel and nothing's going to go wrong. Nothing ever gets done there. So I live my life by the 80% rule. As long as it's pretty good, we're going to give it a shot. And I'm really looking forward to trying new things. So anybody has new ideas, you see things in different communities, counties, states, we want to hear about it because we'll give it a shot. If it makes sense, the team's going to listen, we'll hear about it, and hopefully we can give it a try too. And if it doesn't work, I'll be the first to say, hey, we gave it a shot, it didn't work, but we're going to do this instead next time. And I think that different mentality is something unique to Westmont. We've always had it. We're just going to bring it up a notch to the next level. And that's something that I'm fully committed to. I'm super excited about. It's going to be a fun 4 years. It's going to be a lot of work these first 3 weeks. You know, I'm new on the job, only a couple weeks in, but you know, it's been a lot. It's been a lot, but it's been fun. All the people that are reaching out just want to have an introduction or just want to see what the priorities are going to be. You know, that's great. That's the best part. And I have to say, most of it's from the business side. I feel like the residents have reached out a lot, but most of it is businesses reaching out. Hey, we're here. There's new leadership. What's changing? We want to do this in town. What do you think about that? And I'm all ears for that. So our state rep, Marty Duter's here today, and I was sharing with her this morning that, you know, I work full time still, and you know, I have to kind of schedule these meetings because so many businesses want to meet and they want to hear things. And I'm into June, right? And that's the exciting part, to the point where I told the gentleman in the back, come to the State of Village. We can squeeze in a few minutes after that. Someone's coming to this Lion Spring Fling Friday where I'm serving beer, so I could buy him a beer and talk about an idea there. And this job is what you make it. And I'm all in for these next 4 years. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to meet with as many people as we can. Jim, I promise it won't be too intense, but it's going to be a good pace, and I know there's anybody that could keep up with me specifically as you. And that's kind of where I want to go next is you know, I get the honor to introduce our next coming village manager. And I've known Jim since I've been involved in the village, so about 14 and a half years or so. In fact, over the weekend, there were some photos we were looking at of my dad, and I'll have to show you this, Jim. I've been saving it for you. But there's a picture from about 14 years ago where Jim's standing behind my dad in his tan, old school police uniform. He had a little more hair then, but it was kind of funny to see that he and I go back that far. And you know, there's really nobody better than I can say for Jim for the time right now in Westmont. Jim is not only a friend, and I'll take these words from him at his police ceremony, he spends more hours here in Westmont than he does in his hometown. He goes home to sleep, and then he's back here in Westmont every day, all day. He's given his life to this community. He really has. He's got the attitude. He's got the knowledge. He knows everybody in town. He's got that can-do mentality to, hey, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. And that's what I know he's been working real hard on today, and he's going to go into a lot of that tonight, or today. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce in a couple days, our new village manager, Jim Gunther.
I hope I don't have to keep up with that level of energy the entire time. It's going to be complicated. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jim Gunther, and I am the village manager trainee for at least the next couple of weeks, transitioning from the police department. And both the deputy mayor and the mayor did a really nice job setting the stage in very broad terms about what we're going to talk about for the next little while. We have not had a State of the Village address since pre-pandemic. And in the spirit of government efficiency, we cut the slide deck from 68 down to 67. So very happy about that. So we're going to get right into it. And really, you know, every community is unique in some way, shape, or form. And Westmont is certainly no exception. Here's a list of things that we think make our community very, very unique to us, and things that we will support moving forward. You know, even being here at the Hilton, the Westmont Auto Mile, the Natatorium, over 100 restaurants. Westmont, for 5 square miles, packs a whole lot of stuff in a very small amount of space. The volunteerism, the community events, unprecedented in the area, and we will move forward with all good things to come. On the, I figured out the clicker too. So on the community development side, we are a Soul Smart Silver. Our finance department is GFA certified. Fire department, police department are both accredited. We are dementia-friendly, first community in Westmont, in DuPage County to be dementia-friendly. And our public works with our Tree City USA designation is outstanding. We are working toward accreditation for the Public Works Department. That is a project that we are taking on, and we will have, all first responder type departments in the village accredited in the near future. As far as the continuity of government goes, the mayor laid it out very well. There is a transition period. We have a whole lot of new faces in new jobs, and we have with a new mayor, a new manager, new village clerk, 3 new trustees. There's a whole lot of changes. I want to mention that there will be 3 left-handed people at the dais at the front, so I think we tilt the scale on that. We have committee assignments for the new trustees. Trustee Plowman, who's in attendance today, that will be in charge of the Police Public Safety Committee. Trustee Scales, Community Development, and Trustee Perilli, Public Works. Along with that, the retired mayor, who's now the deputy mayor, also mentioned his new role in continuing his over 40 years of service to the Westmont community. I mean, such an unbelievable amount of knowledge and talent to leverage, and we couldn't let you go that quick. The Village of Westmont has over 200 employees, with 83 being part-time in the fire department. And I just wanted to mention quickly that, from a department head standpoint, I think this is very important that we have a mix of department heads that have been promoted internally, which really gives you the institutional knowledge and that connection to the community that the mayor spoke of, and then very talented, high-level external hires in the Public Works, Finance, Human Resources, and Community Development departments. A lot of what we're going to talk about today is in those departments where we hire someone externally. And really, when you have that opportunity to go out into the market, to look for the talent, to interview and bring people in, I think we hit a home run with all the people we hire externally that bring those new ideas and fresh experiences to our community. I left this slide in because I love this picture, most notably, but we have a high level of interdepartmental cooperation, and again, in the rare, unique thing of what makes Westmont so great is the fact that we have departments that get along, where we share resources, we work with one another, certainly in the summertime when we're setting up all the community events between police, public works, finance. It's really really great. I want to make a special mention, since I come from a public safety background. I started my career in 1997, and 2 years after that was Columbine. 2 years after that was 9/11. Those 2 very transformative events changed the landscape of public safety, specifically in the police and fire services. Probably very few people know that in 1999, when Columbine happened, the response by law enforcement was to surround and call out. That was the SOP. We play the waiting game to get the people out. Well, that didn't work in Columbine. So that evolved over, decades to where we now stand at rapid deployment, where we trust our law enforcement and our fire personnel to go into the threat with the stuff on their back. And if they're the first person there, they're going in by themselves. The fire department, through a lot of conversation, where they used to stage and wait outside a hot zone, they now will go in under armed police escort. That's a sea change in the fire industry, and certainly you see all the things that police officers wear, between tourniquets, first aid kits, things that will clot your blood, and now we have paramedics that have to wear bulletproof vests. These are massive changes in society. It's unfortunate, but it's things that we prepare for, and we are certainly ready in Westmont. That's as doom and gloomy as I'll get the entire presentation, I promise. So we do like to recognize excellence, and we think that part of being unique is taking care of our people and making sure that they are well thought of. And we want to make a shout out to our Westmont Public Servant of the Year, Mike Boyser from the Water Department at Public Works. So congratulations to Mike. And now I'd like to touch on another way that our government works. And this is interesting when you think about having a village with an elected mayor and board. We have a couple other elected officials in the community, and we have the Westmont Public Library and the Westmont Park District, who geographically work in the same boundaries as the village, the corporate boundaries, and they are elected officials. I see Trustee Carmichael from the Library Board in attendance today, and Executive Director Bob Fleck from the Park District, not elected, but still at the controls of the Park District. And we have 6 school districts, which is very unique. The fact that we have a population of 25,000 and there's 6 school districts in the community, and that's not counting the private schools that should be also included. But from a taxing position, this is what we're laying, where we're at. And I think that, having good governance both at the village level and the library level and the Park District level is like a trifecta of good governance, because really when you pay your property tax bill, that's where your money is going when it's divided into all of these different buckets for the government to reallocate back to the community. So I asked for some information from the library and the Park District, so I'm going to be very happy to cover a lot of this stuff. So if you look at your breakdown of your property tax, with 70% going to school districts, and again, that's divided in 6 different ways. Village taking 11.6%, Park District 6.2%, and the library at 3.3%. You can see that from a property tax perspective, the breakdown of the allocation of the money, generally goes toward the school districts. Specific to the library, great programming, great community outreach, a very well-run operation. You can see that Westmont ranks $95 per capita compared to surrounding library entities. This one, just interesting that we have 25,000 people in town and they have 11,600 library cards out. I think that's a pretty incredible percentage for that organization. Moving to the Park District, we have, again, run by Executive Director Fleck, an annual budget just under $10 million for the 5 elected officials to navigate. You can see all of the different entities within the parks, from the parks, the buildings, and the land. And it's an incredible job that they do day in and day out. New projects, we have a new North Grant neighborhood coming in, and speaking of grants, they've had over $5 million of grant awards over the past 30 years. So again, from a funding perspective, where you can receive the lion's share of your money through property taxes, all of the organizations are always seeking grant opportunities to bring in money from the outside to help supplement the money that the taxpayers give to the community. And I have to make a plug because this is the 25th anniversary of the Thai Park, and I am promised that it's the biggest, best fireworks display in the history of the Park District. Other ways that we help with the government, where governments help each other, we have agreements, intergovernmental agreements, cooperation with the parks and the library, over stormwater uses, landscaping. We have lawn mowing services, we do accounting and IT for the library, and again, all the events that we coordinate. So really, this is a whole of government approach where we work very, very well with one another in all of these areas. And then, of course, the regional, as the mayor mentioned, development, tourism, economies of scale. These are all things that we actively seek all the time. From a mutual aid perspective, again, this is like broadening the net for how we operate with other communities. Being in DuPage County, DuPage County is about 324-ish square miles with about 900,000 people, so we're a very interconnected community from a DuPage perspective. The fire department has what's called MABUS, which is their mutual aid entity where it's built right into the computer-aided dispatch service, where if a call comes out, they can figure out what the nature of the event is and how much resources and equipment that they need for that particular thing. So When you have something like that, which is cost beneficial, we can keep our staffing levels adequate. If there's a large-scale fire in town, rest assured that we are having people from all over the region come in to assist with that. The Merit Task Force, which is on the law enforcement side, and I want to say a shout out to DuPage County Board Member Kajewski, who helped push along some funding for the Merit Task Force in the way of vehicles. We reached out to the county board a few years ago for some assistance to make getting some Bearcats a reality. So we secured 2, which was great. And this is a task force in DuPage County. Anytime there's a major incident, whether it's a homicide, barricaded subject, SWAT call, accident reconstruction, we send out subject matter experts, the best of the best in DuPage County, to go handle anything that anybody in the county has. And really, that's working out super well. The Public Works Department just added, and I will kill myself if I try to pronounce this acronym, but it's IPWAMAN. Director Reese, can you help me out with that one? Right. You guys need to work on that acronym. But anyway, yeah, it is. So we're not members of that, and again, the same thing. If you have a storm, you have a natural disaster, you need roads cleared, you need trees chopped up. I mean, you need specialty equipment that maybe we don't have and another community does. Again, these are all ways that the government leverages best practices in helping one another. Oh, good. On to the part that I can talk about pretty well. The Westmont Police Department, we've been accredited a few times. We had a small gap between 2000 and 2010 where we were not accredited, but we re-implemented that. And really, from a professionalism standpoint, it's great to have somebody come in and audit your books, look at your operations, check things out to make sure that you're doing things appropriately, to prove to them that everything is on the up and up. We believe in continuous training, and really the reputation of the department is something that I harped on the most as a police chief. Our reputation is everything in our eyes, and it's earned every day by the officers out in the streets and the contacts that they make with the community. Law enforcement is a very unique animal in that I can't think of another job in the world where one bad apple can ruin the whole bunch. And when bad things happen in other parts of the country, that has a direct impact on the way we operate and the way we interact with the community. And really, that's the drive, to make sure that at least in Westmont, Illinois, our police department has the best reputation that we can because we earned it from the community. So how do we do that? We do lots of outreach. We do lots of events. Squad Car Night is right around the corner on June 19th. Hope to see everyone there. The picture in the lower left-hand corner is our last Squad Car Night from last year. I can still see him in my boot from severing my Achilles heel, so still made it. National Night Out is the first Tuesday of the month in August, and that's great for everyone. We have lots of community outreach. We have all the stakeholders in the community, and it's a wonderful event up at Ty Park. Several years ago, we started a Facebook page for the police department specifically, and if I could have 28 of you in here that do not currently follow the Westmont Police Facebook page, hit the button. I can get to 5,000, which would be really, really good. So get your phones out, start searching. Really, this has been a great mechanism for reaching out to the community from the police perspective, and we have very good special interest stories, things that our officers do that they should be recognized for. It's great outreach, it's great education. The two most popular posts from last year was a gun safety lock initiative that former trustee Simonovich wanted implemented, that as the chair of the Public Safety Committee. So trustee Plowman, take notes of that. We do listen, and it was extremely well received. There are free gun locks that are available at the police department. The second one was our Squad Car Night from last year, which is always very well received. People love the squad cars, and they love cruising nights in general, so it works out. It's a double win. Last year, the Westmont Police Department, through Illinois Special Olympics, received the 2024 Flame of Hope Award, which is awarded to an exemplary police agency for their work with Special Olympics Illinois. We just had Cop on Top last Friday, raised over $10,000 for the first time ever. Last year was, I think, $7,200, and we raised it considerably from then. It's, all these programs, they just keep getting better, they keep improving, and really it was awesome for me to watch from my perspective as the chief. One of my favorite programs, Citizens Police Academy for adults, and we also run a Junior Citizens Police Academy. These are both run in September. Those are the dates. There'll be a link at the end so you can click on it. Do I have any CPA alumni in the room? Got a few. Hank, you just had it. Hank, you might be in this picture. There he is. Yeah, Hank's right there next to me. He's right next to the talent. Nice job, Hank. Wonderful experience. Really, it's our opportunity to let you know what we do and get the great feedback from the community members. And, we make great connections with this program. The people that teach from the police department side are passionate about what they do. They're proud of their jobs that they have, and we love having the program. And, we love it when we do squad car night where the cops get to be the bad guys and the students get to be the cops. Always entertaining. We've only had a couple injuries over the years, so. Moving on to the fire department. Fire department is ISO Class 1 and accredited. So 2 designations for the fire department. For a part-time department, that's extremely rare. And they were also the recipient of the 2023 Hartman Award through Good Samaritan Hospital. Because of the structure of the fire department as a part-time agency, there is a savings to the community relative, year in and year out. However, there's external forces in play between legislation that's been proposed or rules from unions where, firemen can't be in 2 agencies at once. So, we're always have our pulse on the issue, which is secondary employment and any legislation coming out of Springfield that might change the way we operate from a fire perspective. And of course, as every agency in any job we're always dealing with generational trends, and no less so in the fire industry. The fire department also believes in community outreach, and they put on some great programming with the fire department and the police department together. We run a kid safety camp in the summertime. Fantastic program. I've been to the last several graduations. It's always awesome to watch the fire personnel quiz the kids at the end before they have them the diploma. How much information those kids retain is just amazing. They do a fantastic job with the education parts. It's all based on safety, and a great program for kids. We have all the bells and whistles of a fire department. We have a communications vehicle which is unique to Westmont. So anytime there's a large scale mutual aid call out, we're sending our command vehicle, 1888. We had it up several years ago, if you remember the shooting up in the Oak Brook Mall, that was dispatched for that. We had, I was the chairman of the mayor task force at the time. We had probably well over 300 police officers on scene. We needed more than 1 command van. It was a huge undertaking to clear a mall that large, but again, that's where leveraging these mutual aid agreements comes into play on the local level. So we have the new fire facility, as the mayor talked about earlier. The fire department over the last since 1991, call volume has quintupled. So I think it was about 1,200 calls in 1991. So whatever that is times 5 is about what your calls are these days. The community demographics are shifting. We have a very aging population. We have a lot of facilities, assisted care facilities in Westmont, probably more than any other place in DuPage County. And, we have high turnover, and the paramedics are there quite frequently. There's a lot of new, since 1991 when the fire department headquarters was built, there's been a lot of new regulations, new OSHA regulations, new ADA requirements, new building codes, lots of things that need to be updated in that facility. If you think about the width of the bay door and the relative size of a piece of apparatus in 1991 compared to 2025, the vehicles are much larger than they used to be and much heavier. So, all these things are pointing in the direction of looking at and exploring a new fire facility. Moving on to Public Works, there's all the Public Works peeps and all the departments and divisions that they have. Interesting thing about the Public Works Department, we cover 5 square miles, 699 streetlights. It'd be nice if we can get it to 700, so it's a round number, but I'll talk to Director Reese about that. I do want to mention the parkway trees. We spend an incredible amount of time and effort into beautifying the village. Part of that is the parkway tree program. We have lots and lots of trees, and even over the weekend when the Public Works had their open house, they were educating people and showing off the parkway trees that are going into the community, and great work that they're doing over there. Through the $28 million capital improvement plan, we're building a north water tower on where the tennis courts at the Westmont High School currently exists. That project is under development right now. It's being built. And then I wanted to mention the Dark Sky Initiative as far as from an energy saving standpoint, from infrastructure standpoint. We'll have less lights on the streets, being more efficient, using less energy, and having less infrastructure that needs to be replaced over the long term. So again, great things that are happening in the village. Moving over to the administration, communications, IT, government services, and human resources. Lots of work being done there. The communication part, Mayor Nero emphasized the communication. We put out a lot of communication. We have lots of avenues to get the word out to the public. Between the community magazine, between social media, the village website, there is a lot of stuff out there already. We're going to continue to get better at that, to hone the message, to make sure that it resonates with the community, to make sure that everybody's getting the information that they need. So we're always looking to improve that. Public Works has started their Facebook page, I believe, last week, so another avenue to receive more information. Village YouTube channel as well. Board meetings are publicized and live, so we're doing what we can to put the message out, and we will continue to improve and hone that. On the IT side, and this was really, this is good stuff. The new GIS mapping system, the amount of information that's available to the public is unbelievable through that GIS mapping. There's, from parking to finding out, what street is designated for parking, for 4-hour parking, 2-hour parking, overnight parking. All of these things are available online. The 311 system, which is fantastic. So if you want to report either anonymously or you want to make a report of something in the community, attach your name to it and get feedback back from the village. This is the portal that you send that information in so we can get government officials on it to solve the problem. Finance department, very interesting and unique thing about the finance department is out of the 7 full-time and 1 part-time staff, 4 of them are CPAs, which I think is really a testament to the professionalism of the department. I can also add that the finance director is a former auditor, so Director Altick in the back, it's easy to say that we have our money on lockdown between all of the different people that have oversight of the books. So you can see that we process a lot of things throughout the village internally, and moving over to the, how are we good stewards of your tax dollars? I think this is a slide that really illustrates that in really one graphic. We're AA plus rated, which is in the top quartile of communities in the nation. And, if you look at our statutory debt limit of $91 million, our village debt is subject to debt limit currently is at $1.5 million. So a huge difference in that number and how we allocate money and how we spend. We have long-term assets with low-interest loans. The deputy mayor mentioned the stormwater, street resurfacing, facilities improvements, all things that we did under his administration, and will continue moving into the future. As Director Reese pointed out to me, you always want your loan to outlast, or your asset to outlast your loan. I got that right, and I think that will be true in the future. Moving on to village revenue, you can see the largest chunk is through sales and use at 38%, investment income at 7%, property taxes that we talked about earlier, 20%, income tax at 9%, and then on the line. So we do have, for any idle cash that's sitting in the bank, we invest that, and we bring back money for the community so we can put forward these projects and programs. On the sales tax distribution, obviously the lion's share is our auto mile, our automotive at 55%, grocery at 11%, restaurants at 6%, computers, which I think we only have like one really big computer store in town, so they do very well, and the rest. So really good from a sales tax or perspective. Moving into how we spend our money, 33% on capital improvements, 32% pay and benefits, 11% on professional services. So about 75% of our money is taken up in those three buckets. You can see the debt service, which we have a very little amount of debt service coming in at 5% of the total way we spend our money. Extra slide in there. So this is an interesting graph that shows our EAV from 2014 to 2024 increasing from a little over $700 million to about $1.1 billion, a little over that. And at the same rate, which that's the blue line, the orange line is the village's property tax rate decreasing over that same period of time by a tune of about 11% over that decade. And we overlaid the Park District and the library, which also saw similar results based on their tax rate as well. So that's the trend of those things. Moving over to the Community Development Department, and obviously this is a passion of Mayor Nero's, so this is the thing that we're going to be focused on the most. We have three divisions: planning and zoning, permitting, and code enforcement. Additionally, we have the Downtown Incentive Program, or the DIP program, that Community Development handles. Chair Carmichael, also in the audience today, of the Planning and Zoning Board. So shout out to the hard work that they do. They meet regularly, and they look at new plans that are coming in and giving their input to the village board for their ultimate thumbs up or thumbs down. The zoning ordinance under the current projects was last updated in 1979, so it's been a little bit. The intent of the rewrite is to modernize, clarify, and simplify it. I mean, simplicity is speed, and we're going to make things quicker. And then, in line with the comprehensive plan, really have hit the ground running with development. Community development also handles permitting, and two of their current projects is online permitting. So we've moved from paper and pencil, or we're in the process of moving from one form to the other, or to have a mix of it. But there is quite a bit of potential in the online permitting to, again, speed things up, to streamline processes and make things more efficient. So that's in development. And then we're also working with developers and having listening sessions to find out what they're looking at in our community to help them, put a shovel in the dirt and get a project off the ground. So I believe the first one was extremely successful, and we look forward to more of those. Moving over to the TIF districts, again, as was pointed out earlier, the 63rd Street district and the downtown district, both very successful, with the anchors being Quincy Station and Mariano's, both north and south. There's more room to grow. I mean, there's plenty of lots available, and we're looking to fill them and improve our community through the TIFs. On the community development side, there's code enforcement, and their job is to go out and to maintain property order and limit blight. I'm learning a lot about blight these days, and how it impacts other residents, other community members, other businesses. Blight is a big deal. We need to be on top of that. We need a clean, organized, well-run village for all, because you have a neighbor 2 doors down that could impact you or your property sales, and so those are the types of things that we're going to stay on top of. As I mentioned before, we have the 311 system, which is online. You can click on the box and fill out an issue or a complaint, and code enforcement will take a look at it. On the Downtown Incentive Program, or the DIP, this is a way for existing businesses to tap into some of the TIF money. So generally speaking, the TIF is for new businesses rolling into town, but we do have a mechanism for existing businesses through the DIP program in the downtown business area to get a grant of up to $100,000. You see that we had about $150,000 awarded in the 23-24 fiscal year, and we have $250,000 budgeted for 2025. So clearly we are positioned to have that program grow, and as the word gets out and people start utilizing it more to beautify the downtown area and their businesses. On the zoning ordinance update, so I spoke about that briefly. We have a third public hearing, which is coming up on June 11th at 6 p.m. at Village Hall. Again, this is, they're probably 80% through the process, but there's still time if you have something to say about the zoning ordinance update. This is your opportunity from the public to go out and speak to that in that forum. The business impacts of the zoning ordinance. So, and I talked to Director Hennerfein about this. I'm like, how does this impact the community? What do they want to know? What are the takeaways? This is a gigantic book that hasn't been updated in 42 years. What does it mean to them? And really what we're looking at is, having a better zoning map, splitting the downtown from in core and edge type layouts, modernizing the use tables, streamlining processes, no more B1 development permit. So these are all things that will speed up the process and get developments up and operational quicker. And then apparently this was an issue, grand opening sign allowances. So we're getting a little looser on those, Joe? Is that what's going on? Okay. So if you have a grand opening, you'll be able to say it loud and say it proud. Just an overview of one of the TIF districts. So this is 63rd and Cass. This is before any development was put in. You see the field on the left was replaced by the Marianos being the anchor, and then once the anchor's in, it drives the other businesses in. So the LA Fitness and the Amazon Fresh, along with the Starbucks. So really, I mean, this is what, in 3 slides, what TIF development looks like in moving things forward for the community. Charting the future. So we're currently looking at our strategic plan, our comprehensive plan, downtown streetscape plan, and branding. So all of these things will be running simultaneously. So we're figuring out the best way to proceed with that. There will be a ton of community input that we'll be seeking, looking for as we organize these different entities. So looking for information on all of those things. And, heavy on community engagement. I haven't had a comprehensive plan rewrite since 2014, I think. Close enough? It's been a while. So, the pandemic certainly didn't help with that. Then we're gearing back up and moving forward. Upcoming meetings. So, as I mentioned, the zoning code update, and then June 12th is your next opportunity to talk to the village board about the fire station proposal. That's a village board meeting on June 12th. Is that committee or is that the board meeting itself? Board? What happened to my fire chief? He disappeared. He must have had a call. He's out. So, and then community events, Spring Fling, Race to the Flag, Memorial Day Parade, all those things that are coming up. This shows we have community events in perpetuity. We're always running and always in motion to reach out to the community. This is a community engagement QR code, so a lot of the things that I talked about today, there'll be links if you hit the QR code on any of the things we talked about. We're still building that out, but it's probably about 90% there. And please engage. Again, Westmont Police Facebook page, 28 people, get me to 5K, super appreciate it. All right, in 36 minutes, I got through 68 slides. So, hey, Kim Heller showed up, thank you. All right, well, with that, I thank you for your time and look forward to doing this next year to show the results and the progress that we've made in the next 365 days. So thank you very much.